course, physical abuse, that's something that you can see on the outside usually, if it's visible. Sometimes that type of abuse is hidden or in an unrevealed areas. There's sexual abuse that can be included along with elder abuse, financial abuse. It's in many different ways, and it's a hard thing to handle because they are adults. Technically, people feel them to be free-willed and able to speak out on their own, and it's often hard to find it, prove it, and get anything done about it. It is often hard to spot. Sometimes you look at it and you see it immediately, but also that's hard with an older person because they tend to bruise a whole lot easier. Hematomas and broken bones, it is hard sometimes to see if medications are being deferred and taken away from patients when they need them, because it's the patient or the caregiver's word versus the patient's word. One thing that we do notice that kind of throws up a red flag is when they won't allow the medical social worker in the home or to have contact with them. Usually that means that either there's some strange family dynamics going on or something that they won't let us get involved or know about. In all instances, if there's abuse, anyone should always report it. But the thing that you have to worry about with a hospice patient and abuse or neglect going on is it going to do more harm than good to report the abuse, neglect, or drug diversion or financial control on a patient that's dying. Usually if an APS report is filed, that means the police will be involved, APS will be involved, an investigation will be drawn out. It can take forever. A lot of uproar, anxiety, and could speed up the dying process for them. So it's almost at the point of, is it worth it, or do we need to draw out completely because it's an unsafe situation? Then we leave a patient in an unsafe situation, do an APS report, and hope that it's followed through. Sometimes it's hard to get that priority case in there because there are so many things that are worse. So what we do protocol-wise is if there's suspicion or we are seeing it or hearing it, we go through the steps if we feel that it's going to be beneficial and the safest thing to do to file a report. We file a report, they come out, do an investigation, go through that process. They can choose to either remain in the home with the family or they can choose to try and be placed in a facility. And we just try to do what's best for the patient. That's our main goal. Several agencies, and there's been advocacy speaking out about it, bringing out more awareness. Celebrities have spoken up and went public. They're bringing more of an awareness out of it. I do feel like it is becoming more public and people are starting to figure out elder abuse does happen. But I don't know if it gets as much streamlined news as other issues do. We do give training to our staff as to signs of what to see or think of whenever you're in there, that it might be a strange situation. We do the same with our volunteers. We give a baseline thing about it and then usually try and add on to it with in-services about elder abuse. But there's so many things that you've got to kind of watch and see. Educate. A lot of people have misconceptions or don't know what it is or don't think that it happens. I feel that it would be good to advocate and get out there as to what elder abuse is, even educate the elders that you know and teaching them ways to speak out. If we feel that a family member or one of our patients need to be pulled out due to abuse issues, we put them within respite. That gets them away from the family for 5 full days. They can figure out what's going on. Whoever needs to speak to the family and figure out what's going on can get in there and talk to them out of the patient's view, talk to the patient, get them calmed down and feeling well. They feel that they would be more safe in a facility and there's a spot for them, they can put them there. They'd be more safe there and That way there'd be eyes on the family member that came in and visited versus them being behind closed doors.